Welcome to News Beacon, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. The Lockheed Martin facility in Fort Worth, Texas, is usually alive with the sounds of advanced manufacturing. But on August 3, 2025, a heavy silence hangs over the F-35 production line. The reason? A sudden halt in the supply of high-purity titanium, an essential material for the jet's structure. Airframes sit unfinished, robotic arms are idle, and workers are reassigned to less critical tasks. The cause isn't a strike or technical glitch, but a geopolitical shock. The titanium supply chain has been severed. The ambitious goal of delivering over 150 F-35s this year is now impossible. Subcontractors are told to stop work, rippling economic pain across the defense industry. The F-35, cornerstone of American and Allied air power, is paralyzed by a single missing resource. This isn't just a production hiccup, it's a glaring vulnerability exposed. The silence in Texas is a warning. Modern warfare is fought as much in supply chains as on the battlefield. The dream of air dominance is now hostage to a global resource dependency. The world's most advanced fighter jet is grounded, not by enemy action, but by a missing metal. Why is titanium so critical? It's a wonder metal, strong as steel, but nearly half the weight, and highly resistant to corrosion. For the F-35, titanium is irreplaceable. 1/3 of its structure relies on it, especially in high-stress areas like wing spars and landing gear. The jet's engine, too, depends on titanium alloys to withstand extreme heat and pressure. Without titanium, the F-35's stealth, speed, and survivability would be impossible. No other metal offers the same blend of strength, lightness, and heat resistance. Substitute steel, and the jet becomes too heavy. Use aluminum, and it can't handle the stress or heat. The F-35 was engineered around titanium's unique properties. When the titanium supply stops, the entire production ecosystem collapses. This isn't a problem you can simply engineer around. The halt is a fundamental disruption, one that strikes at the very heart of modern air power. The F-35's future depends on a metal that's suddenly out of reach. The crisis traces back to China's dominance in titanium production. By 2025, China controls over 60% of the world's titanium sponge, the form needed for aerospace alloys. Years of state investment and lax regulations let China undercut global competitors and corner the market. In retaliation for US sanctions, Beijing bans exports of high-grade titanium to the US and its allies. The ban is targeted. Commercial grades still flow, but aerospace-grade titanium is cut off. China's move is calculated economic statecraft, hitting the Pentagon's most vulnerable supply chain. The F-35, with its massive titanium needs, is the prime target. Warnings about over-reliance on a strategic competitor have become reality. The titanium ban is a new front in US-China competition, one where supply chains are weapons. China's grip on titanium is now a chokehold on Western military power. The world's most advanced fighter is grounded by a single strategic decision. The fallout is immediate and severe. With China's titanium gone, US and European processors scramble for dwindling stockpiles. Production targets for the F-35 are slashed. The Pentagon's plans unravel. Old jets must stay in service longer, raising costs and risks for pilots. Training, maintenance, and strategic planning are all thrown into chaos. The price of titanium triples, driving up the already astronomical cost of the F-35. Fewer jets, higher costs, and a shrinking technological edge, America's air power is under threat. The crisis exposes the fragility of the defense supply chain. The F-35, once a symbol of dominance, is now a case study in strategic vulnerability. The eagle is grounded, and the world is watching. The US scrambles for solutions. Stockpiles are inventoried, but reserves are meager, enough for only a few months. Diplomats race to secure titanium from Japan and Kazakhstan, but supplies are limited and slow to ramp up. Domestically, emergency funds revive dormant processing plants, but rebuilding capacity will take years. The Defense Production Act is invoked, but skilled workers and modern facilities are in short supply. Researchers rush to develop new alloys and 3D printing techniques to stretch what titanium remains. These innovations offer hope, but not immediate relief. The F-35 program is in a race against time, patching together a new supply chain before the damage becomes permanent. The crisis is a wake-up call. Supply security is now as vital as technological superiority. America's air power hangs in the balance. The titanium ban's impact spreads far beyond US borders. Allies like the UK, Australia, and Israel face the same F-35 delays, straining trust and military readiness. Some question their reliance on US-led programs, considering independent paths. The ban exposes the risks of globalized defense supply chains and sparks calls for greater industrial sovereignty. Commercial aerospace giants like Boeing and Airbus also feel the squeeze, competing for scarce titanium and facing production delays. Prices soar, affecting airlines, travelers, and the broader economy. Medical, automotive, and marine industries, all reliant on titanium, face shortages and rising costs. China's move reveals the interconnectedness of modern economies. A single targeted action has triggered a cascade of disruption across industries and continents. The world is learning just how fragile its supply chains really are. China's titanium ban is more than a trade spat. It's a strategic gambit. By targeting the F-35, Beijing challenges the foundation of US military power. The ban is asymmetric economic warfare, exploiting a known dependency to impose maximum pain. It aligns with China's broader ambitions, self-sufficiency, global influence, and control over critical resources. With this leverage, China can deter sanctions, extract concessions, and slow Western military modernization. The message to the world: US dominance is no longer guaranteed. For developing nations, China's assertiveness offers an alternative to Western models. The US faces a dilemma: escalate and risk further retaliation, or appear weak and invite more coercion. The titanium crisis forces a fundamental reassessment of economic interdependence with strategic rivals. The rules of global power have changed. The F-35 crisis is now a readiness crisis for the US military. Fighter squadrons struggle to stay mission-capable as old jets are pushed beyond their limits. Cannibalizing parts becomes routine, and maintenance costs soar. America's ability to project power and deter aggression is weakened. Adversaries may see an opportunity to test US resolve in hotspots like the Indo-Pacific and Eastern Europe. The nightmare: a two-front conflict with too few advanced fighters to go around. The titanium ban exposes the fragility of the US defense industrial base. Congress and the Pentagon are forced to rethink their reliance on complex, vulnerable platforms. Calls grow for a more resilient, diversified approach to air power. The crisis is a reckoning for America's entire modernization strategy. The path forward is uncertain, but adaptation is underway. The US must manage its aging fleet while rebuilding titanium supply chains, a process that could take years. Diplomatic efforts to end the ban are critical, but so is long-term investment in supply chain resilience. The titanium crisis has made onshoring and friendshoring of critical materials a national security imperative. Future fighter designs may rely less on titanium, using advanced composites and new alloys. Additive manufacturing could revolutionize aircraft production and maintenance, reducing supply chain risks. The crisis is a turning point, forcing a rethinking of globalization, industrial policy, and military strategy. Air dominance will depend as much on resilient supply chains as on cutting-edge technology. The silent factories in Texas are a warning. How America and its allies respond will shape the future of global power.